And welcome back. If you're just now joining us, millions of Americans are irrationally feared dead this morning following a train derailment near Wilmington, Delaware.
Less than 200 people were aboard the train, but because no names have been released yet, countless more are being imagined trapped inside the wreckage by worried parents and overly anxious friends.
And the list of imagined victims is growing by the minute. From brothers-in-law who live in Delaware, who usually drive but could possibly have been on that train, to friends who went to Delaware on a business trip and may have been next to the tracks for some reason when the train derailed.
And sadly, we're getting reports that even those who have never been to Delaware are now also among those irrationally thought killed.
My sister's phone just keeps going straight to voicemail. Why would it do that? She lives in New Jersey, which is right next to Delaware.
My brother lives in California, but he rides trains all the time, and so I'm worried that he went to Delaware and got on that train, and now...
FEMA spokesman Kent Jeffries is joining us now live from Washington, D.C. Kent, how bad is this?
Well, it's one of the worst disasters this country has ever seen in terms of completely unfounded concern. People are grieving based on virtually nothing.
What can they do, Kent?
Well, stop calling your loved ones. If you can't get a hold of them, it doesn't mean that they're dead. It's much more probable that they're walking on a busy street and just didn't hear their cell phone ring.
Or maybe they're in a meeting.
Right. We estimate 40% of those believed dead are just in a meeting.
Kent, what is FEMA doing to mitigate this?
Well, Tracy, we're setting up reassurance shelters in YMCAs and school gymnasiums nationwide, where folks can stand in a big room with literally everyone they have ever known and keep them within their field of vision. Hopefully that will ease some of the panic.
So there's a possibility that nobody at all has died.
No, Tracy, some people are definitely dead. Bodies are still being pulled out of the crashed train. However, the likelihood that any of your viewers knew them personally is quite small.
Well, that's a relief.
It's much more likely that someone you know died today due to something wholly unrelated to this train accident, like medical problems, car accidents, being shot, freak acts of nature, poison accidentally ingested, falling down a flight of stairs, electrocution, accidental strangulation, random organ failure, drug overdose, surgery gone wrong.
All right, Mr. Jeffries, thank you so much.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more.
And I agree with you. Tonight on Concurrence Roundtable.
You are absolutely correct. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Have I told you how vibrant you're looking lately?
Excuse me, can I finish before someone says something absolutely brilliant?
The sparks fly as three experts agree entirely on solutions to the recent violence in Afghanistan.
No one could even argue with that. Your logic is flawless.
My logic was based on a point you made earlier.
I have nothing to add to what you're saying, and I agree completely.
How can someone so handsome also make such cogent remarks?
Concurrence Roundtable, tonight at 11 on the Onion News Network.
Just a few days into the NFL offseason, and we've already got our first coaching shakeup. New York Giants head coach Tom Coughlin announced that he's retiring from his family to spend more time with his team. In a short press release earlier today, Coughlin explained that the time constraints imposed by his family were detracting from his responsibilities as a football coach. So, what does this all mean for the league? Get ready to sweat. It's time for the Steam Room.
Welcome to the Steam Room, where we turn up the heat on our experts to give us the answers to today's toughest questions. All right, alongside OSN senior analyst and NFL insider Reggie Greengrass, I'm Tim Devannon. Reggie, you're in the Steam Room. The pressure's on, and it only gets hotter from here. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's steam things up. Reggie, you've got all the NFL coaches on your speed dial, so you know Coughlin as well as any reporter. Do you think he's making the right choice by stepping down from his family at this point?
Look, Coughlin has spent 41 years with his family.
Pretty good run.
It is, but with his youngest daughter graduating high school, Coughlin felt he had nothing left to prove as a husband and father.
Right, time to focus on what really matters.
That's right, Tim.
Now, his relationship with his players have been strained over the years because of his family duties. Is this going to help with that?
Absolutely. This says he's got his priorities straight, okay? If Coughlin wants to get back to the Super Bowl, he can't let things like his wife Judy getting sick or the impending birth of a grandchild distract him from the goals at hand.
How's the family taking the news?
Well, the family is saying all the right things. They're wishing the coach well, but privately, I'm hearing that Coughlin's wife is not handling the announcement
So she was blindsided by it?
Yeah, apparently she has not left the house for days. She's been crying nonstop since the announcement came down.
It does not reflect well on her.
No.
All right, Greengrass, it's time for the final sweat. Are you ready for the intense heat about to come your way?
I welcome it.
Who do you see as the next head of the Coughlin household?
I gotta say, I like Greg Clem.
Wow.
He's a neighbor. He's familiar with the Coughlin household. He's got a good relationship with the family.
Pretty good bet.
However, for my dark horse, gotta go with Sam Gillette. He was Judy Coughlin's high school sweetheart. Haven't heard a lot from him in recent years, but I think he could come in and really shake things up.
Sure.
I'm also told that Coughlin's youngest daughter, Katie, really likes Steelers' former head coach, Bill Cowher.
Wow, would Cowher be interested in this kind of position?
Well, he's in a comfortable position with his current family, but his friends have told me that if the right situation were to present itself, he would be open to a new challenge.
Okay, then. Reggie Greengrass, you have survived the Steam Room. Go cool yourself off.
Thank you, sir.
I got hot just watching that. Up next, Manu Ginobili re-aggravated the fake ankle injury he sustained last month.
The tech world is buzzing over Apple's latest must-have gadget, the MacBook Wheel, a revolutionary new laptop that does away with the keyboard. Tech Trends reporter Jeff Tate has more.
Thanks, Andrea. Say goodbye to the keyboard and hello to the future of laptop computers. With the MacBook Wheel, Apple has replaced the traditional keyboard with a sleek, touch-sensitive click wheel. Apple CEO Steve Jobs introduced the product yesterday at the annual Mac Expo. Senior product innovator Brian Gilman says the MacBook Wheel will make typing a thing of the past.
At Apple, our philosophy is create products that are simple to use, and nothing's more simple than a single giant button.
Gilman showed me how the revolutionary new computer works.
Just open the Intuitype alphabet menu here, scroll to the letter you need, see? And center click to select it. Then click again to capitalize, and repeat this process for each new letter. It couldn't be simpler. You can also let the predictive sentence technology complete the sentence for you.
Gilman says the MacBook Wheel has also simplified the organization of files, so searching your hard drive will be a snap.
Just press both sides of the wheel concurrently and center click, and there you have an alphabetical listing of every file on your hard drive. Everything is just a few hundred clicks away.
Apple is calling the MacBook Wheel the most intuitive product ever designed.
Here at Apple, we like to think that we're giving customers features they don't even realize they want yet.
While the MacBook Wheel won't hit the shelves for another 3 to 15 months, many Apple users already have it on their wish list.
I'll buy almost anything if it's shiny and made by Apple.
Alex Zalbin was one of the lucky few to get to try out a Mac Wheel and spent 45 minutes typing an email to his friend.
I never really realized how much I hated keyboards until I saw this thing. I like how the email automatically says sent from a MacBook Wheel. That way people know you have one.
With a price tag of just under $2,600 for the lowest-end MacBook Wheel, it is an investment. But the super-thin laptop features numerous innovations like the new ultra-thin Hummingbird battery, which can power the MacBook Wheel for a full 19 minutes before needing to be recharged. And the computer is virtually unbreakable unless dropped or hit. But Apple isn't resting on its laurels. Brian Gilman said they are already hard at work on the next generation of the MacBook Wheel, which will be 4 ounces lighter due to its lack of screen, hard drive, or wheel. For the Onion News Network, I'm Jeff Tate.
Thank you for that, Jeff. It remains to be seen if the wheel will catch on in the business world where people use computers for actual work.
I'm Juliana McCannis, filling in for Clifford Baines, who is slowly counting backwards from 100. Every year, thousands of Americans join Alcoholics Anonymous and have their personalities destroyed as a result. Should we be doing more to warn people about the dangers of joining AA?
Well, it's time we did something. Yeah. Every year, AA takes countless fun, sociable people and turns them into boring, sanctimonious husks of their former selves.
That is so true. You know, most people can handle sobriety responsibly. Yeah. They can go to a party, not have a drink, and be fine. But for people in AA, as soon as they get around alcohol, they start talking about their constant struggle with their disease and their need to find clarity.
My father was in AA, and I can still remember the terror that I felt when I'd hear his key in the door after a late night meeting, afraid that he'd want to wake me up and apologize to me for his faults as a father for hours on end.
That is just awful.
I mean, now, hold on. I've been very open about my membership in AA. So I read books on sobriety and go to meetings in community centers and drink coffee with strangers late at night.
Look, it's hard not to be resentful of AA when that person who's always been the life of your birthday parties all of a sudden is leaving the party before karaoke even starts.
If you know somebody who's in AA and you see them at a bar or at a party, confront them. Ask them, you know, what's in your cup? What's the matter? Why aren't you drinking?
We don't need your help. It's just a matter of turning to a higher power.
Look, I used to have a very close friend, but he gave up drinking. And now he won't even answer the phone when I call, screaming incoherently at 2 a.m. just to sing Rolling Stone songs like we used to do at the bar after work.
Look, my AA isn't a problem. I do not let it affect my home or my work life. So
We can't
sit here anymore and listen to you becoming more and more smug and self-satisfied.
No, I need AA. I can't get through the week without it.
We have a video we'd like to show you.
It's time.
You're not the same man I married, David. I can't even have a sip of wine without you sighing loudly. David, you have a problem. You are obnoxious.
I didn't realize that my sobriety was hurting my family.
Well, it is, David.
Hurting all of us.
David, take this.
It's going to be okay.
Come on.
You can do it.
You know you want to, David.
Mm-hmm.
Atta boy, David. There you go.
Cheers! Cheers!
Hey, you want to stick around because coming up a little bit later in the hour, we're going to be visited by some Chinese acrobats who are going to make you just plumb forget about the horrors of their government back home. You're going to watch that. But first, you know, even with exercise, it can be very difficult to lose weight, can't it?
Well, it is. It is. But help is on the way because joining us this morning is Elana Brixton Bramby, author of the new self-help book, Don't Eat Your Desk. Elana, welcome. You look
thank you.
fabulous.
Thank you.
Now, I understand, Elana, that all the tips in this book come from your own personal struggle with weight loss.
Jim, absolutely. Like all the ladies out there, I have had to struggle to control my weight.
So common.
I used to not eat at all. No breakfast, no lunch, no dinner. I wasn't getting even close to my weight loss goals.
Even with all that?
Yes, it's those hidden calories I was eating without even realizing it.
Oh, the hidden calories, like the cream in my coffee.
Right.
Or the pencil that you mindlessly chew on. When that pencil is done, you've consumed 26 calories.
I had no idea it was that many. Wow.
At the office, I was consuming Post-it notes, one after the other. I was gnawing at the table in the conference room.
Kind of
that was so
unconsciously,
delicious,
right?
I had to restrain myself.
You can't help but snack like that.
It's true.
Now, I love this. Right here in the middle of the book, you have a very handy chart to help keep track of the calories that you consume during the day.
Well, now take a look at this. A bath mat is 387 calories, 420 calories for baseball, and yet a tennis ball is only 126.
Well, that's because it's filled with air.
Right,
I mean,
of
it's
course.
all about those smart choices.
Sure.
Why eat a washcloth when a whole box of Kleenexes is going to kill those hunger pangs just as well, and it's only half the calories?
Half?
Yeah, plus if you happen to start crying uncontrollably without warning, you have your Kleenex box right there.
So practical.
Perfect.
You know, but
Well,
we're all human, and inevitably it happens. What do you
Yep.
do when you hit that moment
Yep.
of weakness?
Well, of course. I mean, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. I've gone home, I've looked at a pillow, and I had to have it.
Really?
I
Yeah.
had to eat it. I saw the brocade. It had to be inside me. Don't worry. I mean, the best of us have done that. The answer is really to just be vigilant and have like a diet journal. So every stupid thing you put in your mouth, you know what it is.
So you've got it written down, and you got to face facts.
Absolutely.
That's such a good idea.
But it's not all about self-control. That telephone you've been craving, go ahead, you can eat it. Just don't eat the cords and the buttons.
Oh, why not?
They're encased in this kind of pliable plastic, and it's 30% more caloric than just the rest of the phone.
Such good information.
Oh, Elana, thank you so much. You've shed so much light.
Shed weight and shed light, too.
And we all, of course, we all have a ways to go. I know I'm still fat, but I am getting there, and I am committed.
Oh,
It's a
Lana.
journey.
Have the
It's a
commitment,
struggle.
I know.
What an inspiration you are.
Thank you. I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with my body image. I'm just a happy, happy person.
Great.
I'm just so happy.
That is
oh, boy,
wonderful.
am I happy.
Yeah.
Great.
Dina's dad once pushed her pregnant mom hard enough to cause a miscarriage. So if you don't like her comedy, don't blame her. Blame the 9 months her mom was able to keep her mouth shut.
I first learned of Dave's existence about 4 days ago. I couldn't find much information about him for this roast. I'm gonna have to do it now, if that's okay. Siri, who is comedian Dave Kinney?
I found 0 results for comedian Dave Kinney.
Fucking prop comedy. What's that? Done with the prop comedy?
There was more, but I didn't need it, so go ahead.
Dina's gotten a lot of TV work as a production assistant, and in addition to that, she was also barista for 5 years. You've been fetching coffee your whole life. Why do you sound like you just woke up from a sleepover at Bill Cosby's?
Dave, it's impressive that you can be so large and yet so unnoticeable.
Hey, you'd be a lot taller if you had a neck.
Dave shockingly got a cheerleader for the Miami Dolphins to get engaged with him. It caused the NFL to start testing cheerleaders for head injuries also.
You couldn't be a cheerleader for clinical depression. Yeah, Dina actually briefly worked at Nickelodeon. No surprise that she appeals to kids. She's got the energy of Eeyore, the body of a Teletubby, and the face of Arthur the Aardvark.
Dave's mom actually died from not wearing a helmet in a motorcycle crash. She took a nasty spill. She actually died the way Dave lives, an unrecognizable road feature.